This is Scott, and I am going to show you a demo here of using Opsive's excellent third-person controller in actually a toggleable first and third-person mode. This is a network scene with up to 3 players in it at the moment. I'm running this on a MacBook Pro, and that's about all the system can handle. Right now you've got me walking around in a traditional third-person mode. This is the combat movement mode, and I've just hit a toggle button and toggled into first-person mode. The idea here is to have it work a lot like a first-person shooter without necessarily all the subtleties of movement and control, but just to give you a basic, more immersive first-person exploration mode. The 2 green things you see in the distance there are simply spawn markers. This is a test scene I'm building for another project, and the object in the foreground there is, again, just part of my test environment. So hitting the same key again, I toggled back to third person. Here you can see the character's jump ability. This is the standard jump that's implemented by third-person controller from Opsive with no modifications. And as you can see, it's fairly immersive when you move into first-person mode. I've toggled back to third-person mode here, moving around. This is the crouch mode, again, unmodified Opsive code in third-person mode. Now let's snap into first-person here, and we'll do the crouch in first-person, and you can see that the camera moves in a very immersive way. This is based on RoyalAllen's excellent online YouTube tutorial on how to get the basic first-person moving. My contribution here is that I've got the first-person mode working in a network setting, and I've somewhat enhanced the toggling in and out of it, and also have done some refinement to the camera synchronization to prevent some annoying tilt that was giving me motion sickness. So now we've just spawned a second player. That's the controller for the second player is in the lower left window, but you can see him in the first window at the top. The first window is actually playing in the Unity editor. So now the second player is walking around. He started out by default in third-person mode. He's just walked through his spawn marker. In a moment, he's going to toggle also into first-person mode, and you'll notice if you watch the editor window in the top, when I toggle modes on either of these characters, there I just toggled into first-person mode, notice that the character at the top played in the editor still does not follow that. So these are totally independent sessions. That was another tricky little bit of scripting to get that to actually work the way it needed to work. It wouldn't have been a problem had I been playing these on different physical systems, but because I'm controlling this with a gamepad controller as well as with the keyboard, and both inputs are simultaneously active, it becomes a little tricky on the Mac because of the way window focus works in Unity Play mode. It becomes a little tricky to prevent unwanted inputs from being shared simultaneously across all the different sessions or across 2 of the sessions at once. So now we've spawned a third character, and you can see at the moment they're all 3 in third-person mode. And now I've just toggled this new third player, player 3, I've just toggled him into first-person mode. Notice that that doesn't affect either of the others, so they're all independent of each other. Now we're back controlling the second player, or second character again, and he's still in third-person mode until now. He just toggled into first-person mode as well. So we now have 2 out of the 3 of them in first-person mode. Player number 2 is walking around now and just looking over the scene in first-person mode. You can see that he's still visible and everything's working right over the network. There's a little bit of network lag in this test scene. Again, that's attributable to the fact that I'm literally playing 3 copies of my game on a single physical laptop, which is not hugely powerful to begin with. Also is the fact that one of those 3, the one at the top, is being played in the Unity editor. Now here you can see we've actually got all 3 of the characters, which would normally represent 3 different human players. They are now all choosing to be in first-person mode at the moment, and I'm walking around and just having a look at everybody. I did this in basically one evening based on RoyalAllen's tutorial, and it turned out to be a challenging evening of programming, but certainly not insurmountable. That's all for now. Thank you so much for listening.